A rural African childhood gave Ashleigh both a love of nature as well as a deep yearning for art and culture, both of which she's brought together in her generous family home.
Ashleigh, this is the ideal farm villa. This is so gorgeous.
Thanks, Joanne. Yeah, we wanted to create something that was really authentic, and we did that with Pierre Cornier floors throughout. I mean, even the nails were rounded off, and I've got an 11-month-old daughter, which is really important for her to be able to crawl around as she does. And we've also got incredible beams throughout. And I think the use of wood between the two almost creates a sense of soul in the house.
Louise Alexandra assisted with the final touches.
This is lovely and decadent, having a gorgeous painting outside.
When Ashleigh showed me this painting that she'd done, it screamed for a beautiful, soft, sensual Provençal frame, because it just lends itself to this painting, and now it's in a position that welcomes it.
You know, it's quite funny. When Louise called me, I said to her, everything is beautiful, but it's just not finished, and I need help.
I think this house is a classic case study of a house that had to become a home and pay homage to the family that lived in it. So we had a good look at all the artifacts and furniture, and we then divided each section of the house into a specific living style area. And something quite interesting happened. Ashleigh's husband is a world-class art collector, and he showed me all his artifacts, and I kept on selecting instinctively pieces that Ashleigh had actually painted. It was quite uncanny. I then removed certain pieces, infiltrated her art, and it simply became the electricity that switched the house on.
With a mum who produced hydroponics and microherbs, Ashleigh's taken up that baton in the kitchen with veggies from her own garden.
You can see this is not just a show kitchen, it's actually a kitchen that is properly used, judging by your culinary prowess.
I must confess, I do. I love cooking. And I love cooking for my family, and I love entertaining. And in actual fact, this kitchen is almost the heart of the home.
So is this how you've grown up? Is there a bit of your heritage that's come into this kitchen?
There is, actually. I'm a farmer's daughter from Zim. So, you know, that the whole house, which sort of exudes this charm, is wonderful because it's right at my root level.
I'm smelling the lamb. I've heard about it. Are you going to show me the lamb?
Let me check if it's ready.
She's known to cook out of all proportion to her slight frame, so visitors never go hungry.
10 out of 10. In fact, 20 out of 10, because you score extra points for doing it wearing the glamorous stilettos. But besides looking glamorous, what's your other secret to making the perfect lamb?
Lamb likes to be cooked really slowly. So cooking lamb overnight is really important. And the other thing that I use is unfermented grape juice. It doesn't dry the lamb out. So it can cook for 6 to 8 hours and come out really tender and juicy.
So I take it that cooking is your big passion?
It is indeed. It's a great passion of mine. But it's not my first love. My art studio is. Now, every man has got a man cave, and this is my women cave. And it's also the place where I kick off my shoes.
I'll follow suit.
Please do. Oh, bliss.
There we go. Creativity is flowing. I can feel it already. This scale, the proportion of this just absolutely excites me. Do you like working on these big, big proportions?
I actually was quite surprised at how much I enjoyed large format and close tonal range. But there's something quite funny about doing a sort of very strong black and white. And for me, what it becomes across is that if you look outside, you see the sun. And the sun is almost like very masculine energy. It's there, it lights, it illuminates everything. Whereas the feminine energy is almost like the moon. It's the unseen. So what I enjoy about this sort of painting is that it's very much the unseen and the seen, but you're never quite sure which one you're actually looking at.
The process of your paintings, how do you actually go about completing a work?
I really enjoy starting with photography. Photography and art are very, very closely linked for me. So most of the time I will find somebody who inspires me. And in actual fact, there's a waitress that I'm busy working with at the moment. And she's beautiful. Usually she would sit for me while I actually photograph her, and we would take it to the computer, print it out, and then actually translate it into canvas or onto art form.
She remains an outdoors farm girl at heart.
Charlie, come here.
So the perfect farmhouse atmosphere, and of course animals to go with it. What a beautiful place.
I love having my family around me, and the cats and the dogs are part of that.
When Ashleigh closed her business to focus on her new family, her art and photography career blossomed.
Besides having the babies well rested, which other pieces of advice do you have for taking the perfect shot?
I think that you have to have great natural light, and on top of it, The nice thing about taking photos of babies is you can take loads and loads of pictures, and there'll always be one shot that you can use. But the trick is to take loads of pics. The other thing with babies is you actually should give them something either dangling over them or something to play with that they really enjoy. Things that would make them laugh, things that make them happy.
Yay! Are you from my hood?
What gives Ashleigh her biggest thrill is not the positive reaction to her work, but something much closer to her heart.
Actually, you're a totally creative person, so you've created the most amazing paintings, the most beautiful home, but do you think that the life that you've created here is what you've dreamt of?
I must say, I pour myself into my art and my photography. I love cooking and I love my garden, but my greatest accomplishment is my family and my beautiful daughter. Yes, you agree. You agree.
It's a while until her daughter Ashleigh becomes a teenager, so a few good years of peace still lie in store.